oil pressure sensor and sending unit is bad. And so it's a pretty easy fix. You have to swap it out. Shouldn't take too long. You can do it in your garage. So today, we're gonna do it in my garage. I'll show you how. Let's do it. All right, so here she is, a 6.0 liter in my GMC Yukon XL. I've done a bunch of searching and seeing what other guys have posted about this project. There's good info out there. Most say it takes less than an hour. So here it is. We got about a couple minutes to 11 in the morning. I'm gonna start tackling this, and when we're done, we'll check the time again. All right. Some of the key tools to take care of this thing. You don't have to buy this socket, although it's a thin wall, kind of specific for this project. You can use an 1 1/16 deep well socket to get on top of this guy. This is what we're replacing, the oil pressure sensor that's located at the back of the motor. This right here is the trick though. This is going to be the key to getting this done today and to getting a good video of it. This guy cost about 35 bucks on Amazon. I'll try to put a link down there so you guys can see what it is, where you can get it. But check it out, it's a little camera. It has lights on the end. I can't do sound with it once I get it going, but you just kind of Wi-Fi hook up to the old iPhone, and bada bing, you get the video of the back of the engine, which is going to be pretty clutch. We might need this little guy right here, which will release the line off the fuel rail, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be in the way. And then these guys right here, I think this is going to be the key to replacing this. Once we get the sending unit out, or the pressure sensor out, we'll go ahead and replace this screen. Probably not necessary, but they charge me enough for this thing that I'm going to go ahead and put it in there. All right, first things first, at some point, Chevy, GM, I guess people got tired of looking at their engines, and so they put these big old ugly covers on them instead. So I'm gonna have to remove that, and then I'll just remove the cover on this side, the driver's side of the engine, because way back in there where you can't reach is where we're gonna be replacing this pressure sensor. All right, so here's what I've done so far. I got the lid off the top, 1 bolt, 2 bolts to get the lid off the side of the engine. And as you can see, where we're trying to get is back there behind that part of the engine. And this little guy right here is gonna be in the way, that line. That's the primary fuel line to our fuel rails. So we're gonna disconnect that. But before we do, little trick, pop the handle cover off of the fuse cover, look at your little legend and say, fuel pump, fuel pump. We're gonna pull that guy out. What I'm gonna do is turn the key on, turn the key back off, and that should relieve some of the pressure in the line, and we'll pop that guy loose and then be able to access the back of the engine. All right, so like I said, one of the keys to making this project is gonna be this little guy right here. This little camera that's remote, it's wireless, it's flexible, and down there in the end, you can kind of see it has LED lights. We're gonna use this bad boy to get back there to the back of the engine, and we're gonna be able to check out exactly what we need to change, and I'm gonna leave it up there while I'm actually doing the changing, reaching back and undoing the clip and little hard stuff like that. Yeah, we'll dig into this fuel rail right here and see if we can get it disconnected. So here's what's got to happen first. This little clippy comes off just like that. And we've released the pressure inside, so you need this little guy. You don't need this tool. You can build something, kind of wraps around and does the same trick, but it costs like a couple bucks. So we're gonna fiddle with this since I need 2 hands, and once I pop that loose, we'll be back. What I figured out was just fit a regular long extension in there. It plugs right into the socket. You got room back there, you can get your ratchet on and start loosening her up. So that's what we're doing now. We'll loosen this bad boy up we'll get it out and we'll go from there. Okay, so hang up number one. There either ain't no screen in there or I can't get it, but this little remote camera is pretty handy in checking it out. So I'm gonna take a minute, I'm gonna fish that camera right down there into the hole where the pressure sender is, and we'll be able to tell if there's a screen in there or not. All right, so as we could see with our camera set up looking down in the hole in there, what we could tell was there was no screen in there. So no big deal. Let's put the new sensor in and get this project done. Okay, so here it is. Here's the new sensor. Compare it to the old one that came out. All right, we can see it's already got a little bit of dope on the threads there, so I don't need to put anything on. Sometimes you got to make sure that the little plug insert doesn't come off in your old electric plug. Looks like we're good there. So all I need to do is feed this thing back in the hole and we'll get it going. All right, so now that we got our new sensor hooked up, there it is, it's in. All I gotta do is come in here, take my electrical connection, and I'll plug that on and clip it in. And then it'll just be a matter of buttoning up that fuel rail and putting the cover back on the engine. All right, we got the electrical connection clipped back on. There we go, you can see it. Okay, that's on. Next thing we got to do is just clip that guy back on there like so. And then we put its buddy on here. Let's see, it goes like that. All right, so that guy ain't going anywhere. We'll throw those big engine cover-uppers back on and we'll fire this bad boy up and see how we did. We got our button back up, got those big hide the engine covers bolted back on, whatever they're worth. Okay, don't forget as we button her back up, we want to go back into the fuse box, take this relay right here, which was for our electric fuel pump, and connect that bad boy back up. That'll cause some problems if you forget. So just put that guy back in there. Now let's come on over here and see how we did. All right, man, there we go. All right, so there it is. It looked like it took, well, let's see here. There we are, 11:55. Right at an hour, including all of my buffoonery, camera, filming, trying to get this camera down in there, which I think was a pretty good part of the trick. Little lessons learned today. Apparently this had been replaced before and somebody didn't replace the screen or it didn't have one in there. I don't know, but I just didn't bother with it. It'll be fine. All right. So tell me what you think. Hopefully this was helpful to you. I'll put a link for that camera down there. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, let me know. If you want to see more stuff like this, let me know too. I'd rather be working on this guy. And look at that. Who would put a cover on that engine?